Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. Today I'm going to talk about two luxurious soapy fragrances which are extremely impressive, and I'm going to compare them. It's just that it's dead of winter and I got a little bit bored of wearing heavy fragrances, and I thought I'll try something bright and soapy. And these two fragrances, I've reviewed both of them a long time ago. Have been fitting the bill. They're bright, beautiful, sunny, and yet they smell amazing and luxurious in cold weather. So the fragrances are, on the left hand side, on my left hand there's a dry down of this, which is Acqua di Parma Colonia Essenza. Absolute favorite of mine. This is, and many people, this is widely acclaimed as one of the nicest classical sort of aromatic, woody fragrance, spicy fragrance. And on my right hand there's a dry down of a fragrance long discontinued by Amouage, and this is called Ciel Man. Ciel was first sort of released in a dagger bottle, the conjure bottle, and after that it was replaced, the color was replaced to something like this, which is the color of peach. So initially it was green in color, and now, well, later on it was changed to peach color, and then obviously it was discontinued. And I've got dry downs of both the fragrances. I'll start with the right hand side, but before I start, what links these two fragrances? What is the link? Let me show you the notes breakdown of both these fragrances on your screen. You'll see that both these fragrances depend on brightness followed by fruitiness and then followed by masculine notes. So for Essenza, the keynote is neroli, and everybody calls this a neroli bomb. It's not a neroli bomb, but it's dominated by a note of neroli. Here on the right hand side, the keynote for this one is lavender, but again it transitions into a fruity aldehydic peach. That's the main thing about this fragrance, and I'll walk you through it. So first, Ciel Man. I reviewed it during COVID times, I believe. Both these fragrances were reviewed during COVID times, so you can check out the full reviews, but I've just refreshed my memory. You know, this smells immediately like a luxurious bar of soap, and it's very soapy, and that's the other thing which connects these two. They are luxurious and rich and very soapy. They remind you of a bar of soap. And you also see why this was discontinued. The moment you smell this, it reminds you, well, it doesn't remind you, but you think of another fragrance by Amouage called Reflection Man, which also brings in the soapy qualities of lavender, and it's combined with a creamy orris butter to give it that radiant feel. This is more aldehydic, sunny, creamy, luxurious, rich, and soapy. This is how it starts, and it dries down to a very sour, creamy, fruity aldehydic smell. The soapiness reduces in quantum, in volume. It's creamy sandalwood smell with a dry vetiver, making the fragrance a little bit dry, creamy and dry. And I got a soapiness as well, and there's nutmeg-like freshness to the fragrance with aldehydic peach, fruity sour peach. Brilliant fragrance. Love this fragrance. Very creative. Now let's try the opening of Colonia Essenza. I love this fragrance. I know this fragrance like the back of my hand, but still, you know, it'd be nice to, wow, man. It's this amazing neroli. This neroli, it takes getting used to. It's very dark and carbolic, very strong and industrial. It's very spicy as well. Wow, the depth and richness and masculinity of this fragrance is just breathtaking. It's a proper masculine, classical. And this also reminds you of a soap. It is more soapy than this. It's probably 3 times more soapy than Ciel Man. Rich, luxurious soap. That's how this comes across initially. And then and this also harkens back. It just, you know, doffs its hat towards the classical men's fragrances of the 18th century, 17th, 18th, 19th century, which is when they used to use citrus mostly and spices. Loads of citruses. I mean, I don't get so many citruses in Seal, but here you're getting bergamot, fizziness of bergamot, orange, tangerine-like smell, oiliness, oak moss, and musk. I'm getting all those notes at the top. And in the middle stages, the favorite part of me, of this fragrance for me happens, which is a beautiful rose comes in, coupled with clove. If you don't like the note of clove, you probably wouldn't like it. And those two notes, rose and clove, are a terrific combination in men's perfumery. And then comes a fantastic note of oak moss, which I just smelled, with musk. So rose, clove, musk, and oak moss and vetiver, along with neroli and all the citruses I mentioned. Absolutely different smelling fragrances. There is no comparison when the smell comes. There is no similarity in smell, but the nature. Rich, creamy soap, luxurious in smell. Rich, creamy, wow. Very masculine and classical soap. Carbolic, industrial smell initially, but it's not bad, trust me. When it dries down, it's an absolute olfactive treat. That's the linkage. That's why I compare these two. They're exactly from the same family and smell very different but similar in nature. And this is where perfumery is such an art. The two perfumers, different perfumers, take the same nature, soapy, creamy, luxurious, 3 words, and create completely different scents. But the effect on a person wearing it is the same. They feel clean, rich, and luxurious. So let's talk about the other things. Seasons. Both these fragrances are extremely versatile. You can wear this to any occasion. Work, interviews, first date, normal date, hanging out with your friends, stuff like that. Seasons, any season. This dead of winter, it smells absolutely amazing. I've been really enjoying this. This, by the way, is a tester bottle, which I got from Oman, made in Oman tester bottle, rather than the main, the real Amouage packaging. But these two fragrances in winter are smelling absolutely amazing. This is so fruity and creamy. The dry down is terrific on both these fragrances. I've covered occasions, compliment factor. They are very luxurious. This one is masculine proper. So I think it'll depend on who smells you for you to get a compliment. But you can wear this. Yeah. Such an amazing fragrance. The creativity is just out of the world. You might get a compliment, you might not get a compliment. This one probably will get you a compliment because it's so fruity and creamy. But again, it's sour as well. So may or may not get you a compliment. Personalities. Now, when I recently was talking about this fragrance, this one is so grounded in traditional values, because as I said, it harkens back to the old days of men's cologne perfumery, that this reminds me, or this, I call this the Clark Gable of perfumery or fragrances. This is one who's very polished, very grounded in traditional values, and still is extremely attractive and very well read, very well traveled, can take part in any conversation and just enrich the conversation. That's the kind of personality. This one here is basically a smell of someone who's extremely wealthy, probably owns a yacht and spends a lot of time either resting or relaxing in that yacht or working from that yacht. This is a very rich man's fragrance. This is a fragrance which basically tells you somebody who always enjoys wearing exclusive stuff. The fragrance is, both these fragrances are pretty exclusive in their scent signature. I haven't smelled many fragrances like this. And I haven't smelled anything which combines the note of peach with sandalwood and lavender, soapy lavender. I haven't smelled anything. So exclusivity and luxury is what I get from this as a nature, as a defining sort of a trait for a person wearing this. So I hope this gives you an idea. This is discontinued. Is it worth a serious amount of money getting this? Depends on your financial situation. This is exclusive. This gives you the feel of exclusivity. So if you can afford to pay 500 for something which gives you exclusivity, absolutely. Very creative, completely unique type of a scent. Very widely available. I think this is worth every penny. You know, whether this bottle or the new bottle, it's worth every penny. Acqua di Parmas are amazing, in my opinion. I'm biased. I've got so many Acqua di Parmas. I love those fragrances. So, how do I close this? These two fragrances, if you're looking for soapy fragrances, luxurious and rich fragrances, and you want to wear something which is quite unique and not available widely and not replicated widely, I highly recommend these two. You can easily get this one, very rich and luxurious, but hard to find because it's discontinued and it's an Amouage. It'll always give you terrific experience when you wear this. So I'll close this comparison video by saying that these two fragrances demonstrate how soapy fragrances can augment your style statement. And if you do like this review, fellas, do give it a like. And if you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe. I'm really hoping you enjoyed this content. Take care. Bye-bye.